These neck stretches have not only been modified to fix your thoracic outlet syndrome, but also improve your posture at the same time. My name is Adam. I'm the owner of Training Massage, and I've helped thousands of people get rid of their thoracic outlet syndrome pain in record time when no one else was able to. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do before even stretching out these neck muscles is just simply give it a basic massage with a simple warm up. All you're going to do is take your fingers, place it on the side of your neck, and begin to rub it out for 30 to 60 seconds. The goal here is to simply improve your blood flow and loosen up the tissues that we're about to stretch. Oh, and by the way, if you want a full-blown release sequence before doing this stretch, which I highly recommend, make sure to check out the video popping up in the corner or the one linked in the description below. All right, now that you're done warming up the muscle, let's start with these stretches. The first thing we're gonna be doing is a basic 3 to 5 second hold. All you're going to do is tilt your head to the point where your ear is trying to touch the shoulder and hold that stretch for 3 to 5 seconds before you return back to your starting position and repeat. Now, a few tips here in order to make this even better. The first one is going to be do a basic chin tuck before you do the stretch. What this is going to do is basically get you into a slight stretch for the anterior portion of the scalenes before you stretch it out now laterally, because the anterior portion is where a lot of these nerves and blood vessels get compressed, and the way they contract is going to be forehead flexion. So we want to go a little bit of a extension chin tuck basically, and then we stretch them out, which is going to make those the targeted muscles. And of course, when you are in these little simple stretches, make sure to take a big stomach breath as you do this so that the scalenes can help relax even more and you can force that diaphragm to do the work. As you're doing these stretches, make sure to hold each one for about 3 to 5 seconds and do this for roughly 1 minute or about 6 sets each side. All right, now that we're done with a 3 to 5 second hold, we're actually going to increase it to about 30 seconds with it being a simple 30-second hold. So again, drop your head as far as you can. Try to use your neck muscles to contract as far as you can. Hold that new position and hold it there for about 30 to 60 seconds, whatever you are able to do. Again, here are some tricks while you do this. One more time, keep that chin pulled back and down a little bit like a nice chin tuck. Again, that's going to focus on the anterior portions. But something else I enjoy doing here is going to be stripping out the opposite muscles, the back muscles like the levator scapula and upper traps as I am doing this. So if I am tilting my head to the right, that means I am stretching out my scalenes, and that also means my levator scapula and upper traps will be slightly stretched out as well. So as I'm doing this, I can take my other hand here on the top of the base and simply strip it straight down across the entire upper traps, going down into the shoulder area, and then constantly repeating that as I'm stretching out the scalene. Now, final little tip here that you can do is going to be some small little head rotations, as again, you are keeping it in this stretched out position. So if my head is stretched out in this way, chin tucked, I can now do small little movements where I'm tilting my head down or even tilting it up to see how it changes the stretch. I am looking for the portion that has the biggest stretch, and that is the one I am working on during this sequence. You want to go for the biggest one, the strongest stretch, try to get the biggest bang for your buck during this sequence. All right, now from here, we can jump into a PNF stretch, which stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. This is basically a simple way to trick your nervous system a little bit and allowing you to stretch the muscles out a little more. And the way we do that is with an isometric contraction while the muscle is fully stretched out. So we want to stretch out the left side scalenes. So I'm going to drop my right ear to the shoulder one more time and get that in a stretched position. I'm going to hold my head in this position and make sure it doesn't move, because the next thing I want to do is contract these muscles and I'm going to make them do the main action they do, which in this case is head lateral flexion, and that is going to make them contract. Now, again, my hand is here blocking my head. So when I contract these muscles now, I am now creating a concentric contraction because my head is not moving. If I allowed my head to move, that's considered a concentric. And if I did it while the muscle is lengthening but under load, that's considered eccentric. That's not necessary now, but fun facts. So with an isometric contraction and only using 10% of your strength, because this is the neck muscle, we don't want to strain these muscles here. So with only about 10% of my strength, I'm going to push against my hand. I want to apply the same amount of pressure going back down. And I'm going to do this for about 7 to 10 seconds. After that time is up, I'm going to relax for a second, take a big stomach breath once again, let all that stress out, that tension out, and then try to stretch my neck out just a little more. The idea here is we should be able to move another centimeter to maybe an inch for a lot of you who've never done this before, but we should be able to improve our stretch, improve our length, improve the mobility by simply doing this simple sequence. Now, once you get to your new range of motion, simply hold that stretch there for the next 30 seconds. And again, you go back to all the little modifications that you did in the previous technique. So for this one, set a timer for about 45 seconds, with the first 10 to 15 seconds being your PNF stretch, and the last 30 seconds being your active stretch. Now, like I said earlier, this stretch sequence is far more effective if you actually massage out the neck muscles prior, because getting rid of those trigger points, getting rid of the fascia restrictions before trying to stretch those tissues will make it easier and more effective. So if you want to learn how to do all that, check out the video popping up in the corner or the one in the description below. Now, after this, though, we can't just leave our neck all loosey and goosey, though. We have to now strengthen those other muscles to help support it so that our bodies don't just go back to the same pattern. And if that is the case, there should be another video popping up soon where you can finish up this sequence with some neck exercises. It'll either be popping up right now, somewhere along that line, or again, it's going to be in the description below.